When it comes to self-defense and self-protection, preparedness, shit hits the fan, whatever you want to call it, we all gravitate towards one thing. And that one thing we gravitate towards is because it's fun, cool, and awesome. There's more to it than that. Defensive tools are important. If they weren't, this channel wouldn't be here. They're fun. Again, if they weren't, I wouldn't have the channel showing, shooting, doing all sorts of fun stuff. Guns are cool, right? Guns are fun. Guns can be a fulfilling hobby. You can get in a competition. You can use them to put food on the table with hunting. And we talk about guns and gunfights and being prepared for whatever, zombies, societal collapse, meth heads and their buddies. We don't talk about the following things nearly enough if you look at statistical proportionality of them happening compared to gunfights and zombies and shit hitting the fan. Fire. You've heard me allude to it before. Fire extinguisher. Have a plan. Have firefighting materials in your home. No, I don't mean a tanker truck. I mean fire extinguishers. I mean having a plan. You got kids. You've got other people in the house with you. Have a muster point, a rally point, a hey, in case of this, you do this. Keep it simple because we typically do not rise to the occasion. We're going to revert to the lowest level of training. So there is that. Also, seatbelts. If you are carrying a gun because you're worried that something might happen to endanger your life and you might have to use that gun, but you don't wear a seatbelt, just think about all that I just said right there. But expanding on that, vehicles, you keep a first aid kit in your vehicle. If not, you should. You're taking a stop the bleed class. If not, you should. Tourniquets. If not, you should. Motor vehicle accidents are on the rise. More and more people keep thinking it's a good idea to text or Tinder date or Facebook update or Instagram while they're driving. That leads to more crashes, that leads to more injuries, that leads to more fatalities. In order to prevent some really bad injuries from becoming fatalities, sometimes it's a good idea to learn how to keep that gusher juice inside the gusher. So stop the bleed class, tourniquets, good idea. Learn how to use them. If you live somewhere like I do, rural, actually had to call an ambulance at one point. It took a long time for them to get here. So long, in fact, that I would argue that if I had even nicked an artery, I wasn't hurt in the situation, but if I had been bleeding even somewhat substantially and didn't have the skills to do so, they would have needed a black zippered bag. So if you live somewhere like this, beautiful, right? Quiet, got horseflies buzzing around looking to get me, birds chirping, quiet, serene, love it. You need to learn some more skills because nobody's coming to save you in time if it's that bad. So first aid, preparedness, definitely self-defense too, but again, we're already covering that on the channel. So when seconds count, police are only minutes away. We're fond of saying that, right? It's justification for why we carry guns. You know who else is minutes away when seconds count? Fire department, EMS. These aren't bad people. These are just people with extremely limited resources that can't use a crystal ball to figure out where they need to be next. Practicing your draw to first shots, your reloads, all that is cool. We also think everybody that is capable of performing it should be certified in CPR. I think that's a good one, especially if you have kids. Very important skill to have there and very easy skill to get. A lot of places you can get CPR certified for free or for a nominal fee that will cost you less than a range trip. Again, much more likely to need that. If you're a parent and you have young kids, swimming. Swimming is one of those things that not nearly enough people teach their kids. As a lifeguard, as a former swim lesson instructor, as a teenager, and just an avid water person, I am constantly shocked at how many people are excited about baby's first steps and then fundamental bipedal travel methods in there. Swimming is, in my opinion, a must. It's not a want. It's not a maybe. It's a must. Water kills lots of kids each year, and I don't mean to get grim, dark, and dreary, but as a parent with 3 kids, and 70% of the globe covered by water. Something they need to learn. There's just no real good reason to not teach them. And if you're not capable or confident enough in teaching them yourself, sometimes, and that's not knocking you if you're not, sometimes it's easier to have somebody else teach people we care about things. Get some swim lessons, do something. Maybe find the neighborhood kid who's really good at swimming and have him teach them, pay him a little bit of money. I don't know. Get your kids comfortable, confident, and more importantly, adept in the water, because it does not take long for something really, really bad to happen with water and kids and yourself. Even if you're an adult, never too late to learn. So there's no shame in that. As long as you're actively trying to better your situation and learn these skills, no reason to feel shame. But get out there and learn, because sometimes even as an adult, where you think you're smart enough to stay out of the water, if you can't swim, sometimes it's not your choice. Sometimes things happen, you fall in, vehicle crashes again. That stuff should all come either before the shooting or in conjunction with it, because being prepared for one relatively unlikely scenario while avoiding preparing for statistically much more likely scenarios doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And it's something I'm working on as well. I got to get these kids a lot better in the water before I'm comfortable. So I don't need them to be Michael Phelps. I just need them to understand basic stuff. So that's going to be about it there. I know some people are going to get upset with this, and I get it. The guns are fun. I enjoy the guns, obviously. That's why I don't teach swim lessons on the channel. That's why I don't teach people how to use a fire extinguisher on the channel, although I might here soon. Just because if I'm going to tell people to learn and not help with that, well then, I'm not really much of a help. Stop the Bleed classes are offered all over the place. Look online. Might be easy to find one. Might be a little harder, but chances are there's a way to learn these skills if it's important to you. Again, financially, we're not talking about a whole lot of money. You don't have to go become an EMT or whatever. Just having the basic skills to do for yourself and your family until professional arrives. It's a good skill to have. And if you are in the prepper mindset, it's definitely a skill to have, along with homeopathic remedies and things like that and whatnot. And I'm open to doing more of that sort of stuff on the channel if you'd like. That's kind of my wife's forte, is the homeopathic natural remedies, which I am the world's biggest skeptic, so I didn't really believe in that stuff until it started working. So if you want to see more on that, there's a lot of things you can grow, procure, things like that keep around that can help with a number of ailments that don't involve going to the drugstore and weird chemicals and things like that. But let me know in the comments on that. I think it's important to be well-rounded. I'm still going to do the fun stuff. Still going to do guns. Still going to shoot. But I think we all need a reality check from time to time. And saying it helps me just as much as hopefully hearing it does for you. Stay safe, guys.